Wakanda Forever has opened up on November the 11th of 2021. It has returned us to this epic land where our ancestry, or a version of it, exists. And we deal with grief and with pain and with death and with life and all that goes along with it. And then how does artificial intelligence or technology live with the ancient and coexist? We're going to talk about all this and so much more in today's Sunday Soul podcast. We're going to visit the Wakanda Forever, the culture of the ancestors, and what this means to us today. I'm back, y'all. How y'all doing? How your mama and them doing? How your daddy and them doing? How is everybody doing? Listen, I just got back from my little vacation. I was just away for a few days, about 25 minutes north, and I said, let me get on and talk to the peoples. Let's do a Sunday Soul podcast. I'm doing this. Today is the date is November the 13th. And the year they tell us is 2022. And I've had an opportunity now to see Wakanda Forever twice. I went to see it Thursday night and then again Sunday afternoon. So there's a lot to unpack from it. I wanted to bring this to you all and my thoughts about it. And then on the live version of this podcast that's on YouTube and Facebook, we are then going to have a very brief live panel. But before we do, I want to get some of the thoughts out. So I'm just going to welcome everybody. For those of you listening to the replay, welcome Melinda J. Hello, how are you? Welcome. Thank you, honey. Thank you for being here. Welcome, Red Violet Crystals. Hello, dear. Welcome, Shauna. Hello. Hello, Sweets Harmony. How are you? Welcome everyone that's in the bushes. Welcome everyone that's going to be coming to listen. And the replay gang, welcome. Thank you for being here. I very much appreciate you. Let's get this started. Let's get this going. So I hope everybody can hear me okay. I feel like my volume's good. So I had the honor of seeing Wakanda Forever, the second Black Panther movie, now twice over opening weekend. For those of you, by the time you listen to it, this today, it has already broken the record for the previously held record by Hunger Games Catching Fire for largest opening weekend numbers. At I believe it was 153 million was what Hunger Games did, and then this has now done 180 million. It is done a tremendous amount for the MCU, for the Marvel Universe. It is a great way, I think, to end Phase 4 of Marvel. There's a whole lot of things, right? And I will tell you, there are at least one, if not two, maybe even three Oscar-worthy performances. This is not your regular schmegular Marvel movie. This is not the regular old Marvel movie. This is not the, Iron Man, Thor, what have you. They go through three things, and then they end up saving the day. All is well with the world again. And there's some jokies along the way. Lots of action. And whatnot. This isn't your standard Marvel movie. Just like Black Panther was not your standard Marvel movie. It definitely was not your standard origin story movie. That's where we were introduced in the live action world to Black Panther. Those of us who read comic books already knew Black Panther from a long time ago. I want to welcome those that are coming into the door. V Hargett, hello, dear. Hey, Mystic Crystal Tarot, how are you? Queen Tulsa, hello. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, Christina, how are you, beloved? So, this wasn't your standard Marvel movie. It wasn't your standard sequel. So just like Black Panther opened melanated Black and brown people, I will say, to this whole new realm. And it was a realm that where we got this mythical glimpse into what Africa really is or potentially could be, and not the save the children 30, 60-second. Who was it? Was it Sally Field? No, it wasn't Sally Field. I can't remember her last name now. These 30 to 60-second commercials or even longer where you see children with flies landing on their foreheads and they have nothing to eat, and so we have to say, and I'm not saying that hunger doesn't exist, hunger issues. I'm saying there's been a number of other like reality shows, even on, I think it was Netflix, right? Where it was Young, Rich, and African, I think it was called. We saw a different point of view into Africa. So Black Panther was the first for us in this current age of live action superhero films, the first blockbuster melanated Black superhero. Now, it was amazing and it created a movement. And then our dear Chadwick Boseman passed away very suddenly of cancer. So now here we are with Wakanda Forever. I will say, first of all, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more the second time I saw it than I did the first time. It was moving. It was raw. It was real. Right? But what it also was, if you really got behind it, got behind the scenes, and got underneath the hood, it further told a story that we need to, out of multiple stories that we need to tap into and finally be willing to have the discussion thereof. Okay? Because yes, Black Panther, colonizer, da-da-da-da-da-da, right? And if you've seen Black Adam, and I didn't do that, I need to probably roll that into this a little bit. If you haven't seen Black Adam, you need to go see it. If you have seen Black Adam, you'll understand what I'm about to say. We now have, between the Woman King, Black Adam, and now Wakanda Forever, we have now had 3 blockbuster, excellent movies, different genres, to be sure. Excellent movies nonetheless, that are forcing us as Black and brown people to take a look at the ramifications of what colonization, slavery, and all that goes along with it, what that has done to us as a people, and perhaps ways to remedy it. Not only that, the Woman King forced us to look at some of the reasons why those of us, because not all of us were brought over. My ancestors actually were dark Native Indigenous Americans. Some of you all were actually brought over. So just please hear me. Again, not all of us were brought here. We got to stop believing that lie. But those that were brought, why the tribes over there did what they did, and then, why they stopped. Okay. Now, I see Corey's in the house. Sally Struthers, thank you. I could not think of her last name. Sally Struthers, thanks, Corey. Hello, dear. How are you? Now, this is what I'm gonna do for y'all. Thank you to everyone that's coming in the door. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're gonna start having our conversation now about Wakanda forever. I have played the spoiler alert. I have played the spoiler alert. So if you all ain't seen this movie yet, if you are listening and you ain't seen the movie yet, y'all gotta fix all this. Let's go on zone over here. I'm gonna need you, and you don't want any spoilers, I'm gonna need you to go see the movie and come back and listen. Because from this point forward, I'm not responsible. So I'm gonna give y'all a second. From this point forward, I am no longer to be held responsible for if you happen to see something that you didn't want to see, hear something you didn't want to hear. Okay? From this here point forward, spoiler alert has been I'm not going to ruin the whole movie, but just know that's right, Melinda, spoiler alert. All right. Let's talk about it. I'm going to bring up first the real, I would say, center of everything is going to be Suri. Suri is the real center of everything. Although this movie, it is a beautiful, poetic tribute to Chadwick Boseman in his memory. I don't think it could have been done any better. I don't think so. I think it was beautiful. I think it was memorable. I think that from the very opening seconds of this movie, see you later, darling. Okay. Oh, Disney says I could spoil it now that it's out and past the first weekend. All right. Well, I still want to get spoiler alerts because I really feel like that's just the right thing to do. From the very opening scene of this movie, where Shuri is using all of her technology, her AI, everything within her power to try to create the heart-shaped herb to save her brother. And the opening line is she's praying to Bast. So you all may remember from the first movie, they explained that the goddess Bast is who granted them the ability to be the Black Panther. Egyptian goddess Bast, B-A-S-T. Please go look her up. Powerful, powerful goddess. And she said if Bast would grant her the ability to save her brother, that she would never doubt her again and always believe in her. But she's unable to do so. Hey, Sebastian. From that very moment until the last mid-credit scene, there was this beautiful dance between what we as a people understand and understand in our DNA, in our melanin, about what death truly represents. about what death truly represents to us, or should, as merely a part of life. There is this beautiful dance of, we understand that we missed our loved ones, but when they go to join the ancestors, do we truly still believe, or have we begun to believe, that they can contact us, that we can contact them, that they are not truly ever gone? They're still here with us. And that if we believe and allow ourselves to be open, we can commune with them. And Shuri says, oh, no, 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 that's just a construct of your mind. That's what your mind is constructed in order to help you deal with the grief. And there's probably truth to that. There's probably truth to that. However, there's truth also to the fact that we can contact and should be in contact with our ancestors. But what has happened over the course of centuries is the old ways and the rituals and the beliefs, the belief systems, the spirituality systems, that spiritual technology has been lost. And it's given way to wonderful artificial intelligence and technology, and truly grand advancements in engineering and communication and computing and all these things. But that can never be a substitute for the original spiritual technology, if you will. It can never be a substitute for it. It can attempt to, but we'll get to that in a minute. And it has its place. We also have, what I absolutely loved was that Angela Bassett, she's definitely one. Letitia Wright, that plays Shuri, and Angela Bassett, for sure Angela Bassett deserves an Oscar nomination for her role. Whether she'll get it because this is a Marvel movie, because it's a superhero movie, I don't know. But my God, today, that woman, Mother Bassett, you will never forget the Queen. What I loved about the role of the Queen, the role of the women, period, in this movie, this was not a situation where it was an artificial girl power, right? This wasn't artificial. This wasn't manufactured. This wasn't, and I don't mean to offend nobody, but this wasn't a group of women who didn't know who the hell they were, trying to be something and trying to jump up and down and say, see me, don't you see me? Ah, da, 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 da. I want to be equal. I want to be this. I want to be that. This wasn't that. And some of y'all might not get that, but I'm going to try to explain it another way. What gets underneath my skin when it comes to the modern day feminist movement, and what gets under my skin in the manosphere and the red pill man, what gets under my skin over there too, is the fact that neither side really comprehends who the woman really is. I'm going to say that again. Neither side, neither one of them, for as woke or not woke or based or whatever they want to say about themselves. Neither understands woman. Neither. Who she is, who she has always been, and who she shall forever be if she lives in her divinity and walks with her mothers and her grandmothers and her great grandmothers, who she is. You see, Queen Ramonda truly represents, and the women in this film truly do represent what the basis of African and indigenous, black and brown people, how we ran our culture. Women were women, men were men. We understood what our roles were, and neither were attempting to supersede one another. There was not the competition. So when the queen lost the only remaining male in the family, they did what the ancestors would have them to do. She's still a living member of the royal family, of the tribal leadership. It was not unusual for women to lead. And in fact, they were revered. This is part of our culture, y'all. This is part of our culture. And the men did not become less than. No one was disrespecting who they were at all. She still got counsel from them. Everyone still worked together. There wasn't a struggle. This is where we're at. We got to make this work. Men still held some of the protectorate. Now, the female warriors in the film represent the Amazonian women, and like the women in the tribes, like in the woman king and such. But even then, no one's griping. No one's griping. So that was one thing I have to say. Also, King Ramonda, Corey's talking about this here. She stepped into the UN and called out both male and female colonizer Western European and Western, in other words, United States, called them both out and said, y'all think just because the Black Panther is dead, because our king is dead, we don't have a protector. So y'all just think y'all just gonna come in and just steal from us. And even Kukulkan Khan, Namor. I refuse to call him Namor, though. I would rather not. Kukulkan Khan, the feather-winged god, serpent god of the Mayan culture. He even said this too. We'll show him in a moment. He deserves an Oscar. I think you said that already here. Corey said this somewhere. He deserves an Oscar as well. But she walked in there and said, you think you're just going to come steal from us? We don't trade vibranium with y'all, not because we're concerned about how stable or unstable or what the properties are, the destructive properties are of vibranium, but because of y'all's destructive properties, basically. We know what y'all will do with it, and y'all ain't gonna do right by it. And that's why she told him, listen, I done captured your folks, brought them Durham SEALs up in there, them special forces people, gave them back to the French woman. These your peeps? Okay, take them on home. And she said, you do it again, it's gonna be an act of aggression. Now, listen, this is where the culture comes in at. We have, Black and brown people. We have to get to a point where we know we can stand in our power and our truth. Those who are not black and brown, I want you just to take a moment from time to time and think, is what I'm about to do, or is the current culture in any way, shape, or form or fashion taking advantage of a group of, or this particular, in particular, individual? The system takes advantage of everybody if they allow it. But when I think what gets lost in translation is the same thing can happen to two people, one that's melanated and one that's not. Because the melanated individual has within their DNA a recording of history that goes far back past 400 years. This doesn't even, we like to think that somehow this mistreatment started only 400 years ago. No, 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 no. Go watch The Woman King. Go study. Go study. Study the Moors. At one point, I want y'all to know, the Moors at one point, Spanish Moors, very dark. Very, 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 very dark. They ran stuff. But then the folks that were living a little further north, they had a little less melanin because they had migrated. See, everybody comes from us. They had migrated, less sun, less melanin. What happens? Then this, we must take over, colonize, steal instead of create. I didn't write it. I didn't make. Talk to your ancestors. Don't bring it here. You got to look at your history in Europe. Go over there and look at that history. So when a melanated black or brown person, then the same thing can happen to a melanated person that's unjust and a non-melanated person. But because the melanated person has millennia of mistreatment, colonization, subjugation, and oppression imprinted within the DNA that one then has to release through very strong shadow work, very strenuous but liberating energetic work, transmutation and reintegration, and awakening to whom we really are. And where we really come from and what our power truly is. And so then we got to overcome and study and learn all this. So we are going to take the oppression, subjugation, whatever is happening, the unfair and unjust treatment differently than you. We're going to look at it through a different lens than you. Does that mean one is right and one is wrong? No. It's all about your point of view. It's all about your point of view. My dear, yes, the body is chosen at birth. So, Cat, the body is chosen at birth. Skin is not incidental. Melanin is not incidental. I would ask, if it was not important, then why is it so important to those that do not possess it? If melanin I want y'all to think about this for 1 second. I didn't mean to get off on this tangent. I'll have to edit this perhaps. But if melanin is not important, why are those that do not possess it in greater quantities so against and so oppressive to those of us who have it in greater quantities? Hey, Chronicle. Kat, this might not be a conversation, and that's okay. Not every conversation that I have is like really great for everybody. It's okay. So this might not be a conversation. The color of the soul is not at question. I'm talking again. I'm not even going to let this get derailed. Why I can't answer that. Well, I can't answer that, but maybe you'll get that answer in a little bit. So Queen Ramunda came in and said in the UN, this ain't happening, Captain. We ain't doing it no more. You know who else? This is my guy right here. Kukulkan from the Mayan culture. His story goes that one day their shaman, the people were getting sick. Actually, what happened was the Spanish colonizers, the European Spanish colonizers, came to their land and brought smallpox with them. They had not been introduced to smallpox. They brought it over and started killing them. Smallpox was decimating them. So their shaman had a vision and went down and got a plant, which turns out to be some version of the heart-shaped herb, and makes a drink of it. And everyone drinks it, including his mother. She was pregnant at the time, didn't necessarily want to drink it, but they convinced her that if they did, then her son, her child would be the first, I think they knew it was going to boy, was going to be the first king of their tribe. And they all fell out. When they woke up, they could no longer breathe the air, and instead they went under the sea and could breathe water. So he was born underwater. Now, do not get this twisted. I have heard on other channels, these are Atlanteans. They are not. Stop it. Every underwater group culture is not Atlantean. For goodness sakes. Hey, Gray Pill, how are you? Now, the interesting thing is, so once his mother died, his mother grew older and died. He comes out and says he's a mutant. Once his mother passed, he was still kind of young because he ages quite slowly. She passed. She asked to be buried back up on the surface. That's where she wanted to be buried. So he brings her body and his people, they bring her body up. And what did they find? The conquistadors and such subjugating and enslaving and doing what? Ravishing the land, their land, of all of their resources and enslaving their people. Of course, they called him the devil and Satan. And the Spanish priest and whatnot says, "You're without nada amor en tu corazón, nada amor en tu corazón." And so that's where he gets the name Namor. But Kukulkan said the same thing to Shuri, the Suri, that the Queen said to the UN. Here these people come and they will kill for what? Our resources. For our resources. If y'all don't grab, grab it. I want you to think about this. I don't care what the concentration of melanin is in your skin. I'm bringing some like real history and real knowledge. It has always been to possess resources. A resourceless or lack of resource or waning resource group can do one of two things: come and work and share with the other group, or simply conquer it and take it over and subjugate their people and do whatever you want to with it. I will leave you to figure out who tends to do what a tad bit more often than the other. But I want you to understand that even though this is a fictional story, there is truth here. These things happened. Only Stan Lee chose to tell the story and have the history within the context and under the guise of fictional characters to hopefully reach the hearts and minds and open somebody's eyes. Now, so we have these three. Kukulkan Khan is dealing with the death of his mother and others, I'm sure. Queen Ramonda is dealing with the passing of her son for like the third time. And Princess Shuri, her brother, her father, spoiler alert, she's also going to deal with the passing of her mother. And rage takes her over. And now we're in a position where she has all of this beautiful knowledge to create in the lab that which had only been thus to this point, naturally, organically occurring from Mother, from Gaia, from Earth. And she creates it in a lab, which is great. But she's creating it in a lab for the sole purpose of revenge, with rage and pain in her heart, wanting to have retribution and not justice. What I also found interesting is that this mixture of this coexistence of old ancestry beliefs, rituals, and what they represent, and new school information. What is beautiful about this is that she was able to become the Black Panther through a similar ritual, but without being buried and this and that. Y'all remember what T'Challa went through in the first one? It was a whole thing. And so she's like, nah, because if something go wrong, I want you to be able to, jumpstart my heart. So there's this beautiful, we still pay some homage and we still go through some parts of these rituals because they are meaningful and they do work, and there is some power within that. But yet we can update it to today and allow it to exist in a beautiful, harmonious manner with what we have at our fingertips today. I I don't. What I'm reading for those that are listening. Stanley and Corey Berman says Stanley and Jack Kirby were before their times with telling these stories better than DC ever did. I don't know. Perhaps there's some things that DC that Stanley tells better. There are other things that I think DC does better. We'll have a Marvel versus DC fun time another time. I think that if you read the dark side of DC, it gives you a very intense insight into how the mind can snap and what happens when the mind snaps. There's such nuance between is even a villain all villainous? Black Adam. What truly is an anti-hero? Black Adam, right? Batman. Because for a lot of people, Batman. But Batman he ain't all there, man. He ain't all there. So, but I do believe that Stanley dealt with race issues, economic struggles, and things like that a lot sooner than DC did. Reiner's Truth, the comics with Shuri's journey, absolutely, and transformation of Black Panther, and coming into her queendom, which she hasn't come into this by the end of this. So she will. I don't think she's ready. She's not ready yet. Now, so we have this of the ancestors, right? The culture of our ancestors. Again, Black Adam, Wakanda Forever, and even The Woman King. We now have 3 movies, y'all. 1 true story, 2 fictional, that are encouraging us to investigate who we are. And not only that, but embrace it. And not only that, but say, is this belief system I have been programmed into, does it completely, truly still work for me? Or are there aspects of others that where I truly come from that perhaps will enable me and assist me in renewing my mind from one that is still somewhat enslaved and colonized to one that is free and independent? What role does spirituality play in all that? What role can spirituality play in working through death and pain and grief and sorrow? And understanding and understanding that it is part of life. And that even if the loved one hasn't completely passed away and gone on and transitioned into the next realm, that we still should somehow allow certain aspects of things to die off in our own world so that we too can be reborn. There's certain parts of you that are waiting to be reborn, but you won't let them die. Some of us, the reason why this movie was so amazing for me is because if anybody's like out there that's like me, that has dealt with so much death, so much pain, so much loss in my own family, personal family. We see in the culture we're losing so many so quickly. This, I feel, makes it possible for us. This is a true escape for us, not because it's an escape, but because our pain is on this screen And it is honored and it is dealt with in a way that is so perfect for our soul. It is a song. That's one thing I've noticed as I've been listening to other people's takes on this. They don't get it because they're not seeing it from the cultural standpoint. They're like, yeah, it's okay. But the women are too strong, and the this is a blah, and the blah, 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 blah. Mm. Thank you for supporting it. Hopefully, you can go back and see it again after you listen to some of us talk about it. This spoke to me. This spoke to my son. This spoke to my granddaughters. Spoke to my daughters. We felt it. It was an honor and a privilege to see then the young prince that had been hidden away so that he would not have to face a power struggle for the throne just yet until he was ready. And his father said, nope, this is what we're doing. And I'm dying, by the way. You still can't come. You need to honor me yourself because it's not right. It's not the time. It was moving and it was beautiful. And it is an interesting fictional representation of who we are. And I'm just going to encourage you all to take that journey. Take the journey into your own grief. It's okay to release it. It's okay to honor it. Take the journey into who the heck you really are. Take the journey into life. Where do you want to go? Right? Because you know what? There's one I hadn't spoke of yet. Where is she? Well, there's two. Here's Nakia. Thank you, Queen, for caring for your son, yours and T'Challa's son, and honoring his memory. Thank you. That was another beautiful, strong woman. We didn't talk about the lovely, cute, amazing, yay! Can I just say, Riri Williams, as a young, what does she say, young, black, and gifted student at MIT, she is going to be playing Ironheart. Ironheart in the comics was a young, melanated woman. Had nothing to do with Tony. She managed to, well, in this version, she's building all this on her own. Representing the STEM girls, representing all we can be, representing all we should be. So mamas, daddies, these daughters, I want you to encourage your babies. She is the representation from whence we came. She is the representation of the ancestor. She is. Riri is the representation we have here of what our ancestors would have wanted for us. Wakanda Forever was beautiful, poetic, insightful, and there's much to learn from it. We have to remember that we have to take our rage, transmute it, so we don't look for retribution, but for justice. We have to remember that our power comes from within and not from without solely. And understand that the power that is within you already resides outside of you. It permeates your very being. You are always in concert with it. So stop looking. It's all here. Honor your ancestors. Honor our ancestors. And I think the most interesting thing of that all was to see how women and men and women came together, worked together, led together, made peace together without a need for some level of superiority simply because of greater strength biologically, or because one has a set of ovaries and one doesn't. They were operating in their divine. Take from that. Take from that. At first, I was only going to give this one probably about a 7 or 8, probably a 7. But upon rewatch, it's going to get a 9 from me. And once I see it again, I might give it a 10. All right, for those of you all here that are watching the live, we are going to put up this end screen. So, guys, we're going to turn this part off. This has been the Sunday Soul podcast. I thank you all very much. Please go into the description box below if you're listening to this prior to Black Friday 2022. We are going to be having our first Black Friday festival. I will be putting a link in the description box once this is all over, and it'll be in the show notes everywhere. It's free to attend. It's 2 days, Black Friday and Small Business Saturday. I'm going to have so many people that have worked with me in Lightworker Academy, in the Practical Lightworker, that are going to be presenting, and then you're going to be able to get to know them. I'm also bringing on some people to help you like grow your YouTube channel and some other things, potentially some business or money matters and things like that. So it's going to be all sorts of different opportunities for you to learn and then meet new people, meet your new spiritual BFF. And just come and support and find somebody. If you're looking for a life coach, a healer, a teacher, a mentor, or a shaman, if you're looking for business coaching of some sort, or anything like that, YouTube coaching, whatever, right? Come on. It's free to attend both days, and then the VIP to get all the replays, plus the choice of 2 masterclasses completely free from me. And then some other options that these folks are going to have for you. It's only going to be $27 to do that. So check those links out. We'll be having them in the description and show notes. Peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. Everybody watching me right now, please stay for the conversation. We'll see y'all soon. Namaste. Bye-bye. Thanks, guys. All right, here we go. Thank you. Thank you. We'll be editing that tomorrow and get it up. Okay. All right. I'm only going to stay on here for about 30 minutes so that I can get to bed. Y'all not going to keep me up here all night long. 30 minutes. Maybe 40. But that's only if I can eat my potato chips, y'all. I haven't even eaten dinner, so y'all got to let me go early. So I put the link Why the link didn't show up over there in the YouTubes of it all? Be playing with me, child. Let me drop it into YouTube. Oh, it did. There's the link. So y'all come on up. We're gonna talk for a few minutes. I do want to get into this concept about why is melanin so important. That might need to be a whole nother conversation, but we can go there. Uh, Melanin, if y'all need to study the physical and physiological properties of melanin. Y'all need to do that. Hey sis, how are you?
Really?
Oh my goodness, how you doing, darling?
I'm doing good.
Good. Good. So you must have seen it a
I
few
sure
times.
did. I saw it
Oh, it was so
Thursday.
good. Yeah, we went Thursday night and then we went again. I took my youngest daughter um this afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah, it was I really enjoyed it. Hey sweetheart, how are you?
Uh-oh. Your audio good? I know I paid your bill.
Hey,
That's funny. Hey Melinda.
Hey, Melinda.
hey,
Hey,
everybody.
Hey. So Corey, what are your thoughts about the movie? What would your takeaways? I saw some of the chat in there, but what were your
Yeah,
takeaways?
it was so phenomenal. It was like an emotional roller coaster. I cried from the beginning to the middle to the end. I swear. And
nothing wrong.
Tanakh Muerta. Oh, he was so good.
It was so good.
So good. And he's actually Mayan in descent.
Hmm.
So,
Oh,
yes,
Hmm.
Brian did his job. He did his research. He
Hmm.
did everything perfectly. That
Yeah.
man put his foot in this movie. And I cannot wait to see Wakanda Forever TV show. I just cannot wait. I cannot wait.
That I think is going to be leaning more into the Midnight Angels. I think that's going to tell the
Yes.
Midnight Angels arc. So that's going to be good. I now can't wait to see Ironheart.
Me neither.
I
She's
wasn't
coming too.
I
Yeah,
wasn't
can I?
thrilled to see. I was not, because I couldn't stand
mm.
She-Hulk. It was horrible. I tried to watch the first 15 minutes. So I said, nah, I'm good. This is this is horrible. Um, so I was not. I'm like, oh. So, but now I want to see Ironheart. So they did a
Yeah,
great job setting it up. He did
yeah.
for the fact of no longer having Chadwick, and then the
Panini.
pandemic. And the
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? This movie, it was like it was trying to not be made.
Mhm.
Mm,
I just
The creator said, "No, no, no, no. You need to put this out. You need to put these themes in the world, and you need to
mm-hmm.
give our
amazing.
brown brothers and sisters their due."
It was amazing. It was amazing.
He took so much care with the Mesoamerican culture that was just phenomenal. Um, and because Lupita was born in Mexico,
Oh, I
she's
didn't know
like,
that.
yeah, her father
Yeah.
was in political exile,
Oh
and
wow.
that's where she was
Mm.
born. That's why her name is Lupita. And they
Oh.
just love her. Her and Tanakh were like king and queen of the ball.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
I There are some clips on YouTube of the Mexican premiere,
I have to
and the
check that because I did
music,
Mm.
see some premiere clips, but I wasn't sure where there was at.
and the music.
Wasn't it
Oh,
wonderful?
all
Yes.
of the Latin and Mayan music and Mayan rap, and it was just, the soundtrack is the bomb
Okay.
except for Rihanna. They can
Yeah.
get
Oh
her
my God.
flat one note self.
Mm,
No.
Listen, I did not like that song when they released it. I was like,
I know.
This all you got.
All this time
Now, when I
you've been
saw the
floating around the
movie,
world.
I warmed up to it. What was it? Let Me Rise or whatever.
Lift up or something.
Something. Whatever that other song was, they played at the very end of the credits. Y'all could have kept that one there. Like, that really did absolutely nothing for me. But I haven't downloaded the
Burna Boy
soundtrack yet. I'm gonna
song
download it.
alone. Burna Boy song alone. Oh my God.
I can't wait. I'm gonna download the soundtrack because I got
Yes.
the Black Adam soundtrack. But see,
Is it
y'all get
good?
the Black Adam soundtrack. It's a whole lot of like acid rock, yelling rock, and so some of y'all ain't gonna be able to. Now me, I'm like, okay, we're just gonna headbang it right on out
That's
with it. Like
Brendan's style. That's Brendan's
I was
music
fine
right
with it. I
there.
was like, yeah. I'm sorry. I went to all white high school in the 80s. What do you? I'm good.
Well,
It's
in
okay.
the 80s, we didn't have black radio. We didn't have urban radio in the 80s, remember? All we had was Duran Duran and them, unless you were Motown and you date. Now, the white stations played a lot of Motown. If you weren't Motown, Michael Jackson, Prince, The Temptations, Diana Ross, you didn't hear black music that much in the 80s. So all we had was Duran Duran and Madonna and all of them.
But I kind of, and not to get
I
off on,
loved
get back
it.
on that. I actually did not mind the fact that we all kind of all listened to each other's music.
Right.
I really didn't mind that at all. I feel like I just felt like that was at least a common ground that we could all kind of come together on. Then when I went off to school in 85, then now we're starting to see a divide, right? Because now, at least in the major urban cities, deep house starts taking over, and there's this whole subculture there, and there's the beginnings of rap starting to turn into some hip hop, starting into turn into rap and starting to change,
Yeah.
and so that to me then, and then of course then you have, with the advent then of house and some other thing, you have the proliferation of black music, of black radio.
Yep.
So now, right? So GCI, BMX, like it was a whole in Chicago. It was some of y'all from Chicago. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. On Friday and Saturday nights, it was on and popping. Who was going to have a better DJ on there, spinning live, mixing live on the radio from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Yeah, Kathy Hughes had some stuff like that here when she
Mm-hmm.
started buying up stations and stuff.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so that was that.
Yeah.
Chronicles, what did you think about the movie? Is he ready?
Baby, we can't hear you.
Okay.
Oh,
We're
bless
gonna
his
come
heart.
back.
We'll come back to you, baby. Get your thoughts together.
Melinda, what did you think, dear?
I thought the movie was phenomenal. I literally watched it soon as I got off work yesterday. It was basically like a family night movie. And I was just taken back. Like I was soaking up everything. The fashions they were given, what they were supposed to give. I want all the smoke for the fashion. Just give me the whole entire wardrobe. That's number one. I really enjoyed the introduction of another culture and how everybody can get a taste of what another culture and how they do about with their customs and stuff like that. But yeah, this movie really is just an awakening to really just, and my brother said it perfectly. He said this is the movie to release the old ways of thinking and to embrace and make your own way, to start your own tradition, and don't be afraid to honor the ancestors, because without them you wouldn't know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoy that. And then the water birth, that was one of my favorite scenes too, because I'm like, oh, I want to experience that so bad.
The water birth. Yeah.
Yes, for my next
Can y'all hear?
pregnancy. So yeah, girl. It was amazing. Love it.
Yeah, it was amazing. Well, I ain't having no more, so you can have that. Um,
I
Me
can't hear
neither.
y'all,
you,
We can hear you, baby.
we can hear
but I
you.
can't hear
Yes,
you
we can hear you.
guys.
Brendan, put it on pause and put it on mute and come here.
Um, yeah, yeah. The water birth was beautiful. The whole that was what I will tell you too. For me, introducing another culture, but yet showing the similarities of the trajectory and the history of
Mm-hmm.
all of our cultures together, I
Right.
think is critical. I think that if we don't get anything, I mean, I love what your brother said.
Mm-hmm.
Create your own tradition and make it yours, and don't be afraid to embrace some things that you've been told before maybe you shouldn't embrace, but
Mm-hmm.
really make something that's really personal and powerful for yourself.
Right. I
Um,
Hmm.
I also like the representation of the black women in STEM or just women in STEM in general. Because I saw myself in Shuri and
I can't hear you
Riri
guys.
in itself. So
Yeah.
Chronicles, go.
do I need to drop him down, dear? You gonna get him? Well, now I can't. Oh, you must have muted yourself.
Yeah, drop him down for a second.
Okay,
Yeah.
dear. Um, yeah, that I thought was absolutely wonderful, and I thought that it was interesting for Shuri to say that that even in Wakanda,
Hmm.
it's not being so wise, so young, so intelligent, so young is sometimes not honored
Right.
by the elders. So as one that's somewhat of an elder, I took that and said, we need to be sure that we're honoring that.
Right.
Yeah.
Another thing my mother brought out was when Shuri had, made the hemp again to power up the Black Panther, and she had expected it to, reach the ancestral realm and probably speak to her mom in some sort of shape or form, but she ended up speaking to her cousin
Mhm.
instead, and she had the question lingering, like, why did she say she felt abandoned? Like she gave the impressions of, why did she feel
Mhm.
abandoned? Why did the ancestors abandon her? Why didn't they come to her defense, or whatever the case may be, or as her counsel? And her
Mhm.
cousin, gave it to her straight up, like, I'm gonna give you a rundown of what has happened, and it's up to you to either continue it or to break it. So that's
Mhm.
what I got of it, out of it.
I think she wanted her mother specifically,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
or her brother, or her father, but very specifically, she expected to either see T'Challa or Ramonda.
Mm-hmm.
What she got was where her heart was.
Mhm.
Her heart was filled
Right.
with rage, like Killmonger's. Now,
Mhm.
what
Mm-hmm.
I don't like is how they villainize those of us that were somehow lost, left behind. Now we the bad guy because now we mad because somebody sold us. I don't that I stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Now they done that too many dang on times now. Now I'm through with it now. But that being said, she got the ancestor that she was most connected to
At that
at,
time.
At
at that
time.
time. She just
And
didn't
then
want to own it.
Yeah, and then
See,
that's when her mom came in, when it came down to wanting to X him off.
mhm.
So,
Mhm. Yeah, he was her mirror.
right.
Yes.
Her
Right.
arc in the comics, T'Challa was either in the comics was, I think it was the Ta-Nehisi Coates run or the guy before Ta-Nehisi. I think something happened to T'Challa. He was unconscious or something, and she had to take over as the Black Panther. In the comics, she took the herb, and Bassett told her, "No, you're not worthy. You can't have power for the sake of power."
I forgot.
And that I think that part, when Killmonger showed her a mirror of what the rage and meanness and she wanted to burn the world, was that part of
That
him
story.
acknowledging that in the comics, that you can't have this power if you're not gonna do good with it. She said she wanted to burn the world.
And it also showed the tricky side to AI compared to the hemp being grown from the earth. So, yeah, okay.
You think? I don't know.
To a certain degree, you know, it could have went one way and it could have went another way, but to some degree, you know, how I looked at it, it seemed like it shows the tricky side of her reincarnating that particular hemp plant compared to where it grew from, you know, their resource realm before it got burnt down.
But maybe her energy in creating it and her reason for creating it was retribution, to get the power for retribution. So all that's infused within it. Maybe that, you know, I could see that. That's an interesting though concept. Is it going to be just as effective or not, or what's the trade-off? That's interesting. I want to get Chronicles in here because I told you I'm not staying on here forever. I got to eat.
Go ahead, Chronicles.
I gotta go to sleep. I gotta write business tomorrow as much as I can.
First of all, can you hear me?
Yes, we can, dear.
Okay, good. Have any of you guys heard of the legend of the Duat
in Egypt?
No.
It's the Egyptian underworld. In Moon Knight, they depicted it as as different afterlives. Yeah.
Interesting.
I did some more research on the subject, hoping to find out, where do our souls go when we die? Who do we meet if such a place even exists? Will we meet the old gods, such as Anubis or Osiris, or will we meet this god that we come to know?
Interesting.
I always wondered about that.
That is very interesting.
The reason why I'm bringing it up now, because the movie brought up so much emotions that I have long suppressed. I almost broke down crying in the theaters.
Yeah.
I bawled like a baby. I didn't care who knew. But phase 5 is going to be a lot of spirituality. It's going to be a lot of dealings with the gods, pantheon of all cultures. That was introduced in Thor: Love and Thunder, and it is going to be spiritual. It may be a little esoteric, I think, because they're trying to ramp up to the Midnight Suns coming, and maybe even, what is it, Colossus? Not Colossus. Galactus coming.
This is going to be, I'm quite interested in seeing how they're going to deal with that, and how the whole concept of the multiverse and the quantum realm, which for those that, you know, primarily watch this channel, that's definitely something that we already believed in. Was multiple realms and dimensions and timelines and living in multiple timelines, and so this for me is fascinating that this is where we're going.
Well, there is so much about our universe that we do not know or understand yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible that a multiverse exists. It's possible that a quantum realm exists, and we don't know about it.
Well, I
That's my
think
little shaman.
well,
Is this
we
gonna be a
know actually
shaman?
quite a bit about it already, and we're learning more all the time.
Yeah, we
Absolutely.
really dive deep into it.
Yeah. Well, there's another you that that's living right now in a whole nother existence.
Yeah.
I'm ready
There
for
must-
the other Ant-Man to come out with the quantum.
I know.
Oh
I gotta
yeah.
Yeah.
watch the Ant
yeah,
Man and the Wasp. I didn't see that one
scratcher.
yet.
It's gonna be a head scratcher.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I
it's gonna
think
be
that's
good.
the first movie of Phase 5.
It is.
So
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Well, y'all. Oof. I need to lay it down. I'm gonna go make. Actually have some lasagna I made the other day. Then I'm gonna go warm up
Mm.
and I'm gonna crawl into my bed.
I'm already
And
in bed.
I see, girl, I'm jealous.
Yeah,
And Ice Chronicles, when I looked up Duat, then that they brought up Moon Knight. I haven't even watched Moon Knight. So I think
oh,
I'm gonna go on here and
so
binge
sorry.
watch on Disney Moon Knight tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So
It was
sorry.
good. It was good. It was
Yeah,
Uh,
really
I am so sorry I spoiled it for you.
no, you didn't. No, not at all. Thank you. I forgot all about Moon Knight.
Well, then good.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you. Good looking
Yeah,
out.
we're gonna go see. I haven't seen Woman King yet or Black Adam, so
Oh,
we're gonna
Me
yeah,
too.
I
I
need to
gotta
see
see
those.
that.
And,
we're gonna use our AMC A list, and we just gonna
Yes, I have
make
that
that some of
too.
our movies. We're gonna
Let me
make that
catch
our
a
movies.
matinee for me.
well, I
In the
can't
next
wait
2 weeks,
for
that's what
Woman
we're gonna
King.
do.
And now they're not a sponsor. AMC is not a sponsor of this
No,
year thing.
no,
But
but
let
I'm
me tell
telling
you
you
something.
now, any
Go
of y'all
spend
who
your
like movies,
$20. Spend your $20 a month with that AMC A
3
list.
movies a week for 4 weeks.
Nice.
Mhm.
What's the
3
name
movies a
of
week for
the?
free. Discounts on your food. Discounts on additional tickets as well. You cannot go wrong, guys. You
I got
cannot.
something.
And the drinks at the bar too.
Oh,
Oh, I ain't got an AMC with a bar, so I wouldn't know
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I
that.
don't drink, but I will
We
take a
do.
virgin pina colada any day.
what's the spelling for the Egyptian underworld again? I'm new to all this stuff.
DUAT.
Yep, Duat,
UAT.
Duat,
All right. All
like
right.
duet only with an A,
Okay.
7E.
Got it.
So, all right, gang. Well, we're gonna get on out of here. We're gonna try to do better this week. I said that every week. I don't know why I be telling stories. But I really do try.
This is the first time I've been in the YouTube streets in a while. I'm almost out of training. I almost got my own leads. I can't wait.
All right.
And this is the first
Yay.
time talking about the old gods.
We will need to
All the
talk about the old gods soon.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit deeper. We will.
Yeah, we might have to do a deep dive on that.
We will. Just trying to figure out what the live schedule will be and what to talk about because I have such a broad audience. So broad base. So you guys feel free to just drop me. If you follow me on Instagram at Heart of INSP, you can just DM me and let me know if you got some ideas, some things you want me to talk about. It's a wide range of stuff. I'm open to talk about things and hopefully bring some sort of peace to some stuff. So,
Hey,
but
can I
I
get your emailing information? Cause I got
I'll
some.
give it to you, baby.
Okay, because I got some information about the old gods that I've been doing research on for a long time. I'm talking elementary school days.
Yeah,
Oh
you
wow,
can.
Nice.
Yeah, you
awesome.
can give her the links, and I'll email it for you. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. You have my email address, Corey. Okay, good. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, does she have it? Yes, she do. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you guys for being here so much. Are you still doing Lola Lane with Lola
Yes.
Lane?
Yes, we
Perfect.
are. We've been in our 9 to 5 bag lately.
I understand. I got you, girl. I got you. So you guys check Corey and her YouTube partner Lola Lane at their channel, Lola Lane, on YouTube. Melinda J, the name of your channel, please.
It's just like how it is, Melinda J. And just post your notifications on, because I'll pop in, pop out, pop in, and the rest is history. But I keep it consistent the best way I can.
I love you.
Thank you.
I've been watching.
Thank you.
Amen to that. And does Chronicles, have you started a channel yet, or are you just what you doing? You hanging out? What you doing these days?
I'm trying to figure out how to start a channel. Really?
Okay.
He's been yelling at stage right lately.
Hey.
Listen, we'll be here to help you. Don't worry about it, my friend. Okay, we're here.
Okay.
Yeah,
we're here.
You got a boatload of education that you can splurge.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna let everybody go, and we're gonna say goodnight to the folks tonight. I'll try to get on tomorrow. I need to do a members only live. That might be tomorrow.
Ooh, can't wait.
That might be members only, or at least members only chat. So we might jump on tomorrow for a little while, have some conversation. But y'all got to tell me something to talk about, because Tani, it's hard to come up with something all the time, because I don't talk about the housewives. I don't talk about, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't just.
You're more spiritual than most.
I try. You know what? I should talk about that goddamn Coach Stormy.
Oh, God.
The vibrational plate. And
not only just the low vibrational plate, but the low vibrational man is stealing money. She helping the man steal it.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And I think we need to talk that. You know what? Nah, I know that. I'm gonna talk about Coach Stormy tomorrow. That's what we're gonna talk about tomorrow. Let me get some rest.
No, I'm also investing in amulets and tarot cards too.
What do you want me to do about tarot cards, baby?
Yeah. He said he's trying to get a set. He don't know what he should do.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm also into spiritual things such as protection wards, amulets, staves. Mom don't like it, but I'm just curious.
No, I just want you to have the right ones, and I don't want you to play around with that, because it's not anything to play around with.
Trust me.
Maybe we will book a time with Miss Hart offline, and maybe we can make a phone call. And she can tell you what you need, okay?
Okay.
So you got to email her like a proper person and ask her what's her schedule like.
Okay, but email address to do that.
I know. I got you.
Your mama's got you.
I know from firsthand, y'all in good hands.
It'd be my pleasure. It'd be my pleasure.
She got to go to bed now, baby.
Yeah, I got to eat, then I got to go to bed because I got an early day tomorrow. I've been chilling for 3 days, so now I'm... Huh?
We got to get up at dawn. No, before dawn.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, okay. No, y'all need to go to bed.
Yeah.
Not me. All right, gang. We're going to get out of here, guys. We will see you guys tomorrow night. We'll talk about, not talking about Coach Stormy, but I want to talk about how you can identify coaches, healers, teachers that are operating in integrity. Okay. I think she's a good cautionary tale for why spending $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 does not always guarantee that your life is going to change with some magic wand. Matter of fact, 9 times out of 10, it doesn't. So, all right, we're going to get on out of here, you guys. It was good to see everyone again tonight.
You too.
Yes. It's nice to see everyone again.
Bye.
All right, guys, everybody, have a good night.
Love you guys.
1, 2, 3, bye.
Bye.
Bye.